If you're looking for ways to secure and accelerate your career, you're gonna wanna watch this video. We're gonna talk about how do you build like a career dream team, like a roster, an executive board of advocates for yourself that are gonna help you along in your career journey. After 6 months of working, a manager of mine actually sat me down for a career conversation, and she asked me to start thinking about putting together a career dream team. I'm like, first of all, I was like, I'd only been there 6 months. I'm like, I'm not thinking about, my next move yet. I just want to get this job down, right? I want to understand how to do my role better, right? And she's already talking about my next step potentially, but I was so glad she had me do that. And if she's watching, shout out to you and thank you for the hack. But she had me spend some time to fill out a form, and there's 5 personas and a few lines under each persona, and it was essentially a list of like advocates, right? Folks I can call on, lean on for career advice and advocacy, right? And I'd say the best defense is a good offense, right? Instead of waiting for whatever's going to happen in the job market or in your role, going out and being proactive to move your career forward. And what I mean is having this roster of folks in your corner. So she laid out 5 personas. Number 1 was having a sponsor, having a coach, manager, mentor, and friendtor. Right, so let's talk about these for a second. So the first one is a sponsor. Right, so a sponsor is really someone that knows your work, knows of you, knows your strengths and some of your weaknesses, and has purview to the organization or just an environment where they can advocate for you and look for opportunities and kind of volunteer you for things that they know you would be interested in because maybe they've had that conversation with you or they know what you're looking for, right? I think it's important to have these people, and they're typically in high levels, and they're typically somebody at a high level somewhere within the organization, right? Now, a coach, also very important to have, right? And a coach is typically someone we think of that's going to tell us what we need to hear, not necessarily what we want to hear. Or a coach is someone that's helped others do what we're trying to accomplish, right? And it doesn't feel like they have to walk on eggshells and tiptoe around us. And when you're working with a coach, if you've ever been a coach, you understand this, right? But when you're working with a coach, if that person gives you feedback, and maybe it was a little bit difficult feedback, you want to make sure that you receive it with open arms, right? Not only that you receive it with open arms, but that afterwards, even though it may have stung a little, you thank them for giving you that feedback, right? Because someone that is in your life that's willing to give you tough feedback, those are worth a lot to you, right? And you want to keep them around and give them the space to be able to continue to give you that feedback, right? So that's a sponsor, that's a coach, and then you have your manager. Now, a lot of you guys have folks that someone that you report to that knows your work intimately, right? They're responsible for you to be successful in your role, to share what your KPIs are, help you track those things, right? Whatever that looks like in your role or in your space, or you have a manager that can really speak to what you're good at and maybe what you can work on, right? This is a very important person to have because they have experience with you, right? You're in one-on-ones with them, you're iterating with them, working on things together, they're keeping you accountable, that sort of thing. So it's important to have someone like that that can really speak clearly to what you do on a regular basis, on a day-to-day basis, right? And the other one is a mentor, right? A mentor, I would say somebody is in a place potentially that you want to be in. Maybe they're in a role or in their space that you want to be in. They have experience and they also know your work and can give you feedback, right? But it's someone that you aspire to be like is really important to have in your life as well. And obviously that can take a lot of different forms, right? In your career, in life, as a parent, fitness, that sort of thing, right? And friend tours, probably one of my favorites, right? I have a few friend tours. folks that like know me very personally, right? But I respect them and I respect their opinion. I admire them for the accomplishments that they've had in areas that I want to have accomplishment, right? But there are also folks that may know my family, know me on a personal level, maybe interacted with my son at some point, right? But someone that I can get along with, go have lunch, have coffee, go to the gym with, or something like that. But also someone I really respect that can give me feedback. And I really believe if you spend time, right? A lot of this stuff is not news to you. You've heard that we should have people like this in your life, but you've also heard that sometimes we need to be reminded more than we need to be taught, right? And if this serves as a great reminder, then awesome. I'm super happy about that, right? But taking the time to actually fill out a sheet or a form or a doc of some sort, or even just put it in your notes to have this roster can be wildly helpful. Now, okay, so you have this list. How do we go about bringing people on, or how do we go about asking people to be a sponsor or a mentor or even a friend tour, right? That can be kind of, I don't want to say scary, but it can be a little bit intimidating because usually these are folks that you admire, look up to, have accomplished things that you aspire to, right? And so I'll give you an example. I'll give you a story. Right? There's a gentleman at where I work, and I love the way he thinks. I love his strategic brain, how he approaches clients. I really admire what he's been able to accomplish. Right? He's been awarded, but also people admire his work as well. He's kind, but he's also very organized. So a lot of things that maybe I like to work on, he's already really excelled at a high level, right? But he's busy, so I don't want to just approach him and say, "Will you be my mentor?" We're friendly, we have a good relationship, but I just want to approach him that way, right? And so I watched this course on how to find a mentor or ask someone to be your mentor, and it said, ask them questions, right? Not just something easy that you can go find out on your own. You can ask anybody, but a strategic question that you genuinely need help with. Don't make something up, right? Like, people aren't stupid. They'll figure that out, right? Like, figure something out that maybe is strategic in nature, something you genuinely need help with, something that's really genuinely stumped you, and you want to have a dialogue and conversation. And let them know, hey, I have some questions. I want to be really strategic. I want to be thoughtful about how I approach this. And I've heard that you have an approach that has worked for you in the past. And I was wondering if you could spend maybe 10, 15 minutes so I could just pick your brain, or we can brainstorm, or you could share with me kind of some of your experience and give me some feedback. If that's okay, I'd really appreciate that. If you don't have the time, an email or anything would be really helpful, whatever you can accommodate, right? And this gentleman, we got some time to spend with each other, and we had an incredible conversation. What was supposed to be 15 minutes ended up being, I think, like almost an hour, right? And the next time I did that with him, I waited probably another 3-4 months, right? Because some people, they're happy to mentor you, but maybe they don't want to commit to an hour every month or 30 minutes every week, right? But more on an ad hoc basis. And after our second time that we sat down, I asked him, hey, this is great. I always enjoy our conversations. He said, Jeff, me too. I always get a lot out of it as well, right? And so I said, that's awesome. Well, if you don't mind me asking, I'd love for you to kind of be a mentor or a coach to me. Informally, like, we can meet on a semi-regular basis. I'll reach out when I have something really strategic that I want to run by you and get your perspective on. That would be great. And he's like, yeah, absolutely. And so now I have a mentor, a coach, and I kind of ease my way into it, if that makes some sense, right? And so if that's helpful, take that, right? Go make your list and then start making steps to bring people into your life that can really help you at that. Build your roster, build your career dream team, and you'll not only secure your career, but I think you'll really accelerate it as well. So let me know how this goes. Let me know if you have other ideas. I'm always looking ways to bolster my career as well. And so see you in the next video. Take care.